My name is Cadence, and I work the late shift at a small diner on the edge of town. It's the kind of place that barely gets noticed, just a flickering neon sign, a couple of booths, and a counter where the regulars sit every night. Most of the customers are truckers passing through or the occasional night owl who can't sleep. The kind of place where everyone knows each other by face, if not by name. The shifts are usually quiet, sometimes dull, but I don't mind. It's predictable and the tips are decent enough. I'm used to working alone most nights. There's no busser or co-worker to keep me company. That's fine, really. I like the solitude, most of the time. One Tuesday night, just after midnight, the bell above the door jingled, and a man stepped in. He looked out of place, clean-cut, sharp, wearing a dark coat that didn't quite fit the tired atmosphere of the diner. He had this calm confidence about him, like someone who didn't need to announce his presence but simply commanded it. He took a seat at the counter without a word. I poured him a coffee without asking, and he nodded approvingly. After a few moments, he asked if I liked working there. It was a simple question, but his tone was too smooth, like he was studying me more than making conversation. I shrugged and smiled, telling him it paid the bills. He leaned in slightly and asked if I'd ever thought about doing something else, something bigger. His eyes held a strange kind of intensity, one that made my skin crawl, even though I couldn't say why. I gave a polite no and tried to shift the conversation. Before leaving, he slipped a $100 bill onto the counter without a word and disappeared into the night. I thought that would be the end of it. But a week later, he returned, this time with a woman. She looked younger, dressed too brightly for this place, with a smile that felt too rehearsed. She approached the counter, complimenting me, touching my arm just a bit too long. The man stayed silent, watching. She began asking questions, not about the diner, but about me. How long I'd worked there, how old I was, if I liked the nightlife. It felt less like small talk and more like an interrogation. Then she mentioned an exclusive club, a private party scene where I could make 10 times what I did here in a weekend. It sounded like a dream, but the way she said it, so casually with that unblinking smile, made me want to step back. I told her I wasn't interested, but she insisted, telling me girls like me were always in demand. The whole time, her eyes never left mine. It was unnerving. Suddenly, she leaned closer and told me to step outside for someone who could explain everything better. My heart pounded, and I flat out said no. She left abruptly when a group of loud customers walked in, her friendly mask slipping for just a second before she turned to the man, and they both walked out. That night, after closing, I saw a black car parked across the street. It hadn't been there before. I tried to convince myself it was nothing, but I felt like I was being watched. As I walked to my car, I kept my head down and my keys clenched tight. When I pulled out of the lot, the car followed. Every turn I made, it stayed just behind me. Panic set in. I forced myself to stay calm and drove straight to the police station. The car sped off the moment I pulled into the lot. Nothing happened for a while after that. But then, one late night, the woman came back. I texted my boss quietly as she sat at the bar, smiling that same fake smile. Before I could say anything, I heard the door shut behind me. She was gone. Outside, a black van was idling, and I locked the door as fast as I could. Suddenly, the back door rattled. Someone was trying to get in. I grabbed the heaviest thing I could find and dialed 911 with shaking hands. The van sped off just as my boss pulled into the lot. The cops arrived, reviewed the security footage, and what they saw chilled me. 2 masked figures lurking by the door, trying to flush me out while the woman slipped away. The license plate on the van? Unregistered. The police never caught anyone. Since then, my boss won't let me work alone anymore. But every night shift, I still feel eyes on me, and I wonder how they knew when I'd be alone. I wonder what would have happened if I had run.